Hi, I'm Randy Schrader. I wish that I was sitting with you right now. I would like to guide you very quickly through what I've described as a proven and predictable pattern of activities which leads you to success in the development of your Kannaway business. It helps you start correctly. It helps you avoid common mistakes. I recall so many years ago, I went to a presentation where I was introduced to the direct selling industry, and it felt good. I liked it, but I didn't know for sure what I liked. All I heard was discussion of what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. I had heard no discussion whatsoever about what exactly was I supposed to do to be able to get the key in the lock of this thing. And it wasn't actionable for me until someone described the very simple set of steps I would need to take to have the first measures of success which would lead to greater success beyond. And so very quickly, I'd like to walk you through this Getting Started program. And you can find this in your Kannaway back office. It is called, aptly enough, Getting Started. And I can today give you a brief audio guide to that material. The first thing to note is that on that very first page of text, it says, "We believe that you have the talent required to succeed." How can we say that? We don't know you. That was written not knowing you as an individual. My years of experience have proven this. While our talents are different, they vary, they're as unique as each of us, I believe that you do have the talents required to succeed because almost everyone I interact with has the talents required to succeed. Some in grander fashion, some in more limited fashion, but this is a simple process and you can succeed at it. Now the good news is you have the talent. A kind and loving God chose to grace you with those. That was a free gift. The question is, are each of us willing to work and work and work and work and work and refine those talents into skills that become beneficial to others? The good news is this, you have the talent. The bad news is talent makes no money in this business, skill does. And when we apply ourselves to this very simple 10-step process, the process itself, while it helps you begin to get the key in the lock of the very first measures of success, the process itself requires of you new skill development, step by step by step. As your business grows, you will grow. And in fact, your business will never grow more quickly than you do, and your business will never get bigger than you are. That's a simple reality. The laws of the universe guarantee and promise that. What is step number one? Step number one is simply to enroll in Kannaway. You can't do it wrong. I hope you've made that decision already. If you haven't, I invite you to do so now. Enroll in Kannaway. It's a very, very simple process. Step number two is to place an appropriate initial order. What is an appropriate initial order? Let's contemplate and consider that for a moment. An appropriate initial order is one that considers your goal, your financial circumstance, your willingness to work. It doesn't consider any of that. Not my goal, it's about you. This is about you, it is not about me. This is about you, it is not about your proposed enroller or sponsor. When you bring a new person into the business, this is about them, it is no longer about you. An appropriate initial order is one that considers your goal, your financial circumstance, your willingness to work. It considers the logical need for you to experience the entire Kannaway product line. It also considers the best way to position yourself in the compensation plan so that you earn maximum commissions. Take that one generation further down the line. Whenever we concentrate and focus on what's best for us, we will get a certain outcome. Once again, the laws of the universe promise that when we instead shift that one generation away and concentrate on the positive impacts each choice and decision will make on those we bring into the business, our ultimate outcomes will multiply. And so I want to consider what are the best ways for the new member that I bring into the business to access the compensation plan, what will create the greatest duplication. My simple recommendation to you as you join our business is that you register with one of the enrollment packs, and to the extent that it's financially appropriate for you, register with the executive pack. If that's not quite financially appropriate, register for the junior executive pack. You do what is right for you. Understand this, the decision that you make will by and large dictate the decision that others make. Prepare yourself to hear this. From now on, people will say, when you joined Kannaway, what did you do? And you will always find that people will tend to do what you did or slightly less. Those that you enroll will not tend to do more than you did. So you get a chance today at the very outset, when you place your first order, you get a chance to dictate what the multiplier will be like in your business. So we contemplate the following things. What is your goal? What is your financial circumstance? What is your willingness to work? What are you going to put into this? What are your own product consumption needs? What is the way for you and for others to most appropriately access the compensation plan? And finally, what does proper business building duplication suggest should be done? Place then the order that's right for you. Now, I hope that none of you will view this and say, oh, Randy told me to place the largest order. That's not true. I told you to place the order. I invited you to place the order that is appropriate for you. That's what I want each person to do. Step number 3 is not just to establish your SmartShip, but step number 3 is to create a SmartShip foundation, which is simply unbreakable. Now, there is no one in this industry that is a greater advocate than I for this idea of smart ship or auto ship. I'll give you a glimpse into my life. In this public internet world, there are no secrets anyway. I fought a pretty miserable fight and ultimately lost that fight with drugs and alcohol. And there was a time in my career, a career of such remarkable success. I cannot imagine the results that I have had, but there came a time in my career where for 3 years, I was in 7 different rehabs, I was in 2 jails and a prison. I mean, it got really, really dark for me. And during that period of time, I never earned less than, believe it or not, $3 million per year during that season. How in the world could that happen? Because I had 68,000 people on auto ship. 68,000 people who had put their credit card on file with the company and told them in advance what they wanted to receive. 68,000 people who were receiving product benefits as a result of this same process being properly employed over a period of time. You see, Smart Ship does a few things for us. It allows us to make possible the pledges, the promises that we make, whether spoken or unspoken, in this direct selling or network marketing industry. When people join us in the business, what do we tell them? We tell them you can separate yourself from the generation of income. That will never happen minus auto ship. Auto ship is what makes that possible. We tell people that true part-timers can make money at this. Here's a bit of truth. I don't interact with so many real part-time people. What I meet instead are so many sporadic people. They work for a week or two or for a month, a little blizzard of activities, and then they stray away and don't do much. And then there's some new impetus of pain or some new moment of urgency, and they work again for a little while, and then they don't do much. There are always, of course, those who are committed and who are working hard and diligently every day. But of true part-timers, what I see is a relative scarcity, and I see an abundance of those that I would call as sporadics. Now, if that sporadic participant, when he or she comes back and looks at their business, sees, wow, there's volume here. There's people that are buying and using this company's products. There's people in my group that are making checks. All of that is made possible by a solid Smart Ship foundation that can't break. If there was no Smart Ship, when they come back, they'll look and say, wow, there's nothing here from what I did before. You see, we get to choose in advance what the experience will be that the sporadic, and I love all the sporadics, don't misunderstand. I love all people. But when the person comes back who has only sporadic activity in the business, when they come back and see an auto ship foundation continuing to produce volume and a check, even if it's small, that cements their belief and commitment to the future. Establish auto ship. Make it a part of the commitment you have to this process, your own Smart Ship. You can change what you receive every month, but don't ever change the commitment to it. That is one of the foundational bedrocks of our business. Step number 4 is to know and understand all of the resources. This is a vehicle, as I described in 20 years, that is moving forward, and it's moving forward quickly. And so when you go to your back office and look at the library, you will see a constant inclusion of new resources, new audio resources, new video resources, new research. You'll find so many new tools being added on an ongoing basis. Step number 4 is not just to one-time review all those resources, but to stay current. Ultimately, our business is one of simply pointing and letting a tool talk. We point and we let a tool talk. When a question is posed of me, I point and I let a tool talk. We're creating tools now that can talk on your behalf by allowing you or others to simply push play on these video clips. When we understand fully what the resources are that are available to us, then our business becomes streamlined. Step number 4 is to fully understand all of those tools. Step 5 is to build belief. Why is this relatively easier for me? Notice I said relatively easier. There is nothing that has great outcome but is easy. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes mental and emotional commitment. But why is it relatively easier for me? It's relatively easier for me than for some because I have such a deep, deep-rooted belief in the fundamental correctness of the direct selling industry. Why is it relatively easier for me? Because I have such a profound belief in CBD. Why is it relatively easier for me? Because I have a profound belief in the Kannaway iterations of the CBD combined with B-bong formulas. Why is it relatively easier for me? Because I have deep belief in the ownership and management. I know these people. My gosh, one of them is my son. Why is this relatively easier for me? Because if there's one area where I probably have the greatest strength and knowledge in this industry, it's about compensation plan mechanics, and I love the compensation plan that has been presented to all of us to allow us to accomplish our personal and financial goals in Kannaway. Why is this relatively easier for me? Because I've lived it for some period of time, and I know that what we're required to become is better people to really succeed. So what was all this about? Step number 5 is to build belief. It gets easier for you as it's easier for me when your belief in all of these issues becomes gradually greater and greater and greater. Now, there are ways to build our belief. It's to review all those resources that I talked about in step number 4. It's to consume the products every day. One of the best ways to build belief in Kannaway is to talk to a prospect every day and see how powerful is the current in our society about the benefits of CBD. One of the greatest ways to build your belief is to participate aggressively in the company and see how the compensation mechanism begins to work for you. Step number 5 is to build belief. It's ongoing, it's never ending, it doesn't stop. Step 6 is to create a candidate list. And this is a simple process, and in the workbook that you'll go through, it describes memory joggers and all the different kinds of people you can write down. I'd like to encapsulate this for you. How about if today we each simply make a candidate list of 3 or 4 or 5 people that we can contact today or tomorrow? My own daily activity is very, very simple. Each day, I add a few people to my candidate list today that I can call tomorrow. And we'll have a further discussion about how one grows a candidate list in front of them. But very simply, we're going to engage in a process, a proven and predictable pattern of activities that grants many, many, many people of all different kinds, sizes, styles, and backgrounds access to the compensation mechanism. One of the keys to this whole process is to learn how to not just write down a short-term preliminary list of names or to key it into a computer screen, but it's to learn how to so live our lives so that our candidate list grows in front of us. I assure you that we can show you how to become, in at least a marginal way, profitable immediately. Depending on the life's experiences and the skills you bring to the equation, there will be some who grow very, very quickly in the compensation plan. One of the keys to long-term success will be to not just learn how to write down a list of names, but to learn how to so live our lives so that our candidate list grows in front of us. Step number 7, and this is an important one. It's called mastering the art of the invitation, or learning how to invite. You see, here's the key. When we learn how to properly use a few sentences, words, or phrases that cause our candidates' eyes and ears and hearts to open so they become able to receive the information, then they will join our company for their benefit, and we will likewise benefit. Until such time as we learn what to say and what not to say, until we learn a simple way to make a few well-chosen words and then get out of the way and let a tool talk, the likelihood of our candidates seeing the opportunity in all of its glory, and I said all of its glory. What is the opportunity? Well, it's an opportunity to separate yourself from the generation of income. What is the opportunity? It's a chance for you to learn, grow, develop, and become more than you are the day that you began. What is the opportunity? It's a chance for you to benefit so many others as a result of them becoming exposed to and beginning to consume this extraordinary CBD product line. What is this? This is a chance to make every single part of our life more positive and pleasurable than it might otherwise be. Well, if a person sees that opportunity, they will of course join. The risk is that until we've learned how to invite, there is some risk that our candidate may not see that opportunity. So master the art of the invitation. There's a corresponding audio file that goes along with this series that is called Master the Art of the Invitation. I encourage you to listen to it again and again and again. Rehearse, practice, develop your skills. Recognize that we can do this to some measure with the exact set of skills we have. But as we develop more highly refined skills, then more positively predictable are our outcomes. Master the art of the invitation, then we can have confidence that our candidate will see the fullness, the magnitude of the opportunity, as opposed to simply seeing the one who offered the opportunity. Step number 8 is to learn how to present the business in a fashion that can duplicate. For all those of you who live anywhere near us, we invite you to come to our home so we can teach you how to do the business by doing it. I'll even make a further invitation. We invite ourselves to come to your home and not just tell you how to do a proper business presentation, but to show you. And it might surprise you. And among the various things that I do, I'm a communicator. Sometimes I talk on stages with large audiences. But if you were to come to our home on any given Tuesday evening when we're making a Kannaway presentation, what you would find is that after a few simple, brief introductions, we push play on a video. Why is that? It's because I want every next participant to correctly understand that he or she can do it too. It is simply a matter of knowing the resources. That's step 4. It's believing in the validity of those resources. That's step 5. It's having a candidate we can invite. That's 6. It's learning how to invite. That's 7. And knowing which tool to push play on so the tool can deliver the message. And when that happens, then we have a business that can duplicate, and it is not dependent upon your unique individual skill set, nor is it dependent upon mine. Step number 8 is learning how to present the business in one-on-one fashion, in two-on-one fashion, private small groups. It's learning how to present the business, not just in a compelling and convincing fashion. That, in fact, is relatively less important. It's learning how to present the business in a manner that can and will duplicate. Step number 9 is learning integrally all the first 8 steps. I would like so much to talk with you and have you say to me, Randy, I know what step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is, and we'll add to step number 9 this thought. It's about learning how to successfully bring new people into the business and get them started so that we eliminate all risk. We take all of the risk out. We give them the very simple, most pragmatic, step-by-step approach to ensure, to the extent that they engage in the process, their success. It's about learning how to do new member orientations properly. And what I propose to you is that you simply meet with each new participant who joins you in the business, open up the Getting Started workbook, and then go through it step 1, listening to this very file. Push pause and talk about it as is required. Complete the enrollment if it's not done yet. Listen to step number 2 and then help your new member place what is for he or she an appropriate initial order. Listen to step number 3, understand what SmartShip is and why it exists, and then help your new member establish their SmartShip. At step number 4, push pause and go into the back office and show them the then available, currently available resources. At step 5, describe to your new member what you do to build your belief every day. And it's probably a great idea right now to review one of the Stored Leadership web sessions. It's a great idea to describe your own product successes. It's a great idea to describe your experiences in the business. Step number 5 is to build belief. Step 6, your role as a responsible sponsor is to help your new member create a preliminary candidate list of individuals that can be shown the business in the next 2 or 3 days. Step 7 is to make sure that person listens to the invitation. Know what to say and know what not to say. Become scripted. When I was first taught to become scripted, I was very insecure with that thought. I thought a script, actors and actresses use scripts. That means it's not real, it's fake. I've matured, I've grown, I've learned. To be scripted simply means that we know what we will say and we know what we will not say. It simply means that we're prepared. That's part of what we learn in the invitation. Step 8 is to learn how to present the business in a way that can duplicate. You illustrate this to your new member in the new member orientation by reflecting upon the very video that you pushed play on when you met with them and introduced them to the Kannaway business opportunity. Step 9 is to learn how to follow this simple process. Go through the book, watch this video, listen to the audio. This is how we do it. And step 10 is to take action. Put it all to work for you. Help every new member that you bring into the business establish their first 2 home business reviews in that first 4 weeks of their involvement. And by the way, if you've not done so yet, today would be a great day to schedule your first. There is a proven and predictable pattern of activities. There is no luck. There is no guesswork. A kind and loving God has given you the talents required to succeed. The question now is, are you willing to do all that is required to refine those talents into skills that become beneficial to others? In so doing, you have put the key in the lock of success in Kannaway. I look forward to our association.